Hello everyone. Today, welcome back to our ETL series, which we are continuing. Part one showed our Black Friday ETL transformation. Part two ran the first 5 basic tests, which were row count, revenue sums, nulls, duplicates, and ranges. Today, in part three, we level up with the next 5 advanced ETL tests, which every senior data engineer runs. Test, if we see on the screen, these are the tests: primary key plus foreign key integrity, business rule validation, where we have checked that 10% discount logic, then lookup mapping validation, region codes, data completeness, and slowly changing dimensions SCD type 1 and 2. Again, if you are new to this video, you will not understand this is a series going on. There are 2 more videos which I've created on ETL before this. So first you need to check those, then only you will have an understanding on what tables I'm using and what are the transformation which we have done, what are the layers which we have created. All of those are explained in the first and second part of the videos. So please do check that. It is added on my channel. Once you have completed that, then you will have the relevancy to see the third part of the video. So we will use that same Black Friday sale tables from part 1 and 2, and let's catch the bugs today. Now, primary key duplicate checks, which we will do today. So first of all, test 6 validates key relationships, no duplicate primary keys, and every foreign key exists. This is the primary key plus foreign key integrity, which we need to check. So in our e-commerce data, transaction ID must be unique, and customer ID in target must exist in master customer table. Now, before moving ahead, I will like you to explain that we have not created master customer data table on that day in the last 2 videos, we will say. So today we will create a master customer data. What that master customer data will do is actually it will have all the customer details, how many customers we are having. So first of all, I'm creating that master customer data only. So I'm creating this table. Now we know the purpose of this. So this completed successfully. Now I will enter the data over here. 3 rows affected. I have entered 3 customer details. If we check on the previous tables which we have, these are the 3 customer details which are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is the source raw sales. In the target, if we see, let's do the target monthly sales. If you see, we have only 3 customer ID details who are already valid and are available in our target monthly sales, or the final layer column, which we can see, And again, there's also one more concept which I have not added before. That's bronze, silver, gold layer, which we follow. So bronze is a raw layer, silver is a staging layer, and gold is a final layer which will be published or which can be used by the end users. So this is also one more terminology: bronze, silver, and gold. Anyway, the concept remains same. So whatever name you want to give, we can give that. So this last layer, which you can gold layer or the final layer, is having 3 customer details. In our customer table, which I've created to right now, I've added these. Now the first check should be that there should be no duplicates in primary key. So in staging, cleaning sales only, when we are doing all those transformation, and we are just putting, let me remind you that the staging clean cells and target monthly cells is 1:1 only. There is no transformation done from staging to target. All the transformation is done from source to staging. Okay. Now this 1:1 thing, if I'll check over here, it is correct, then it will be correct in target monthly sales also. However, we can always add an extra check and check that. So let me run this for the duplicates. So how we will check the duplicates in primary key column for the table, we will use a group by over here. So we will group by based on the primary key, and that count should not be greater than 1. If there is a greater than 1 count, this means that there is a duplicate and I want to see that table, see that value. So let me run this. I should get no records over here. And if you see, I didn't get any records over here. So this proves that there are no records. If you want to explain, like there is nothing to explain in this query, I'm using this primary key, and then I have used count star as DUP count, which will actually count the duplicates if available in case. Since there are no, so primary key is correct. Now that primary key foreign key integrity, so every primary key in the final layer should be available in the customer table. It should not be like that. That there is a customer ID available in target monthly sales or the final layer, which is not available in customer base table, right? Customer master table. So we have created this. Now I will run this. What I will do is actually check orphaned customers. Our orphaned customers means that are available in target monthly sales but are not available on the customer master or the master base table, which is having all the customer details. Because even when we are transforming layer wise, we cannot have any customer detail in middle of the transformation in final layer and it is not available in the base layers, right? Rows can rows can be added and deleted, but the customer details can be updated, but customer cannot be suddenly new, right? If it is, then it has to be from the base layer. So I'm checking that using left join, because if there is any customer detail which is available in target monthly sales and not in customer master, we will get the details using left join over here. And I'm adding that extra check also, that filter where customer ID is null, because if it is available in monthly sales and not available in customer master, then we will get null for all the columns of these tables. This is how left join works. There is also a video created on left join. If you want, you can check that in my video in my channel. Execute. So see, I'm not getting any record. This proves that the foreign key validation is also good. So primary key, foreign key integrity. Test number 6 we have cleared and it has been passed correctly. I think we should go to test number 7, which is business rule validation, 10% discount logic. I hope you remember that discount logic validation which we kept. So what was that? We need to check if there are any columns which are having discount applied, and if it is, then we need to know that discount is applied correctly. What I remember that we were giving a 10% discount on that. So the 10% discount checks should be done. So what I have done here is I have created the CTE, which is with discount check as. And in this CTE, we are checking that net amount is less than gross amount. Now, so test if in this CTE we need to show them. So if we go here, net amount less than gross amount into 0.99, then discount applied as full price. Now, if there is no discount applied, we can clearly say that net amount and gross amount is correct. 1 minute. Let me first show you that so that you will have a clear picture what I'm talking about. Staging clean sales. Let's come here and let's see the table first. Then you will have a clear picture. So, okay. First go to raw sales. Let's go to raw sales. In raw sales, you can see discount code is applied. Save 10. So if save 10 is applied, then what I need to do is actually I have to give a 10% discount. Let us suppose I'm taking this row, which is a C005, and 300 was the amount bought by him. So in target monthly sales, what I believe, actually let's go to staging clean sales only, yeah, because the transformation is first done over here. So C005 is having 270 net amount. Now since the discount is applied, that is the reason why gross amount and net amount are different. If the discount was not applied, then this net amount and gross amount would have been same. So based keeping that on criteria, keeping that on my mind, what I have aimed here, or what I have planned here, is that I'll create a column which is discount status, which will be giving us the status of the discount, whether the discount is applied or it is full price. If it is full price, then there is no need to check. But if it is discount applied, then we need to check that the discount is applied correctly. Exactly 10% has been reduced, neither more, neither less, right? And I am also calculating the 10% discount variance which we will get. So if I run this first, let's see what table we will have. Discount variance. So discount variance will actually give us the difference in discount. Let me explain you what this is telling here. Now we know that all of the rows over here have a discount applied. Now I will be checking that if 150 minus 10% of 150, whatever is the result, I'll subtract that with net amount which I am having over here. And if there will be a difference, this means that there is a discrepancy in calculating the net amount formula applied here, right? But if it is same, that 10% of subtraction from gross amount, it is giving exactly the amount available in net amount, then the formula is working fine and I have applied the discount correctly. This is what check we need to perform, right? Discount logic validation. So that is why we have applied over here net amount minus gross amount into 0.9 as discount variance. So if there will be a difference, we will get a discount variance value over here. Maybe 2 point of difference, 3 point difference, 4 difference, whatever difference, we will get there. But over here we can see that there is no difference available over here. So even though if we don't create the CT which is ran this, we would have got the clarification that discount logic validation is correctly updated. But this is for this table. If there was a difference available here, there would have been variance and discount due to some pipeline issue or whatever, then we would have to use the CT. So it's safe side I've used the CT. I've used the CT. So if we come over here, select discount, set discount, star average discount variance as average variance, max discount variance as max variance. What I'm doing is I'm checking what is the average difference which I'm getting, average error, which will help us to see the pattern where our formula is going wrong. Maybe instead of 10%, I'm making an 11% reduction in the formula. So when I'll check that average variance, I'll get a difference of 1% in every. An average will give me a near about thing. Same goes for max variance. I can see how many percentage of variance has been uh, applied here. This will also help me fetching out or going near to the issue which I am having in the formula if there would have been. So if I run this right now completely, discount applied for average variance, max variance. So there is no variance means difference here. There is no variance over here. The difference can be positive, negative, but there's no difference available here. So I think the discount is applied correctly. This I'm just giving you an example of discount logic validation. This can be implemented in many more ways. If you know the basics of how to validate things, you will just flip the column names and can apply automatically everything. Okay. And we actually wanted to, I am also applying this that having average discount variance greater than 0.1. So the average cannot be more than this. If it is, then I need to see that. If I apply this, I'll get 0 records over here. Let me run this. I should get 0 records here. Getting 0 record because the average variance is 0. Okay. So I think we have completed test 7. Now the test 8. Now let's focus on test number 8, which is region lookup completeness. Now we know that there are two tables which we have. First is first table which we had was source raw table, where we applied all the transformation and make the staging layer, and then from staging layer we applied the required user required grouping and filters to make it the target layer. But usually staging layer and target layer is 1:1, as I have said earlier. And there were one more table which we were having, which was raw region. Region completeness. If we come over here, we can see we are having one more, which is region mapping table. If we execute this one, so we can see there are 4 records over here, and we have the raw region, and based on that, the equivalent region clean. So according to this, what our goal was to that if we have the source raw sales, if I see this source raw sales over here, so whatever value is available in this region, US, EN, IN, XX, should be replaced or updated with the equivalent values available in region mapping for these raw region codes. I hope I made myself clear. Now our check is to check to find out that if all the values in our source raw sales, or if the transformation has been done, then in the staging layer staging layer, we are having the equivalent value for this region raw values corresponding to region cleaned value, which I showed you just now. So what we will do is we will first take source raw sales and then apply a left join on region mapping. Now when we do a region mapping, whatever is the scenario, source raw sales, all the records from source raw sales will be available in the target, will be available in the result for now. And we have done a left join, and in region mapping, if we are able to join, we are joining region mapping and source raw sales based on region code and region raw over here. So if there is a join, if we find out rows, then it is good. Well and good, we will have equivalent columns of both the tables. If we are unable to find a value which is available in source raw sales region column, which is not available in region mapping, let us suppose in source raw sales table, we are having one record which is having a region of FC. Now we are not sure, right? FC belongs to which region. So if there would have been any, then this left join, what would have done? It would have kept that row also because it is a left join, and all the values corresponding to region mapping column table, all the column values having equivalent to region mapping table will be having null values. So as we are joining based on region, and the FC is available on SRS, but it is not available in this RM, which is region mapping table. And we are joining, after joining, we are grouping it based on region and region clean. Now region and region clean are actually coming from, region is coming from this source layer, and region clean is coming from my region mapping. And since we have grouped it, if there would have been any discrepancy, we will get that record in the result. So let's run this, execute this. Now when I ran this, I can see that in raw region, which is coming from source table, source layer, these are IN, EU, XX, US, and the corresponding value to these raw region values in my region mapping table is Asia, Europe, invalid, North America. When I'm joining them both based on source raw sales, I can say that okay, the row count is 2212. What I can clearly identify that there is no record which is out of that region mapping table regions. Like there is no FC, UC, DC which is available, and we don't have a region mapping value for that. So we would have got an extra record, but Luckily, every possible region which is available in source has a region clean value available in region mapping. So the lookup is complete. We are only seeing this XS is for invalid, IN for Asia, U for Europe, and US for North America. Now this test 8 has been completed. Let's go to test 9, which is missing records. Now missing records, which means from source to target, how many records are missing, and if those are missing, are they missing correct? Should be missed or they should not be. Like if we should not have face a scenario where there is an eligible record which should be available in target, but we have missed that. So we will check that. How we will check that? We will have that source raw sales and then staging clean sale. As I've said, that staging layer and target layer is having 1:1 detail. Now what we will do over here is we will do a left join on source and then staging. So all the records from source will be there, and those records in staging which are available after the transformation will be here. When we join it, we can see the result. So let me first show you that. So I can see from source we are having 7 records, transaction ID, source, and these are the corresponding values: gross amount, payment status, cost ID, doesn't matter. I'll come over here, I'll see uh, what are the values of source and what are the values of staging. So in staging, I can see there are only 4 columns, 4 rows, which are upgraded or eligible to move ahead in staging layer, and thus out of 7, then source there were 7. So now if anyone will see who has not done this coding or who has not performed the ETL, he will be shocked. She will be shocked at why 3 records are missing. But since we know the criteria, that why we need, what transformations we have done, and if after performing those transformation also, if these records are eligible, then we have to add this, and there is a miss. But after performing those transformation in source, if those records should not be there, then it is good. So what I want to say you is that if you see over here, you will see that we have performed the left join, and we need to figure out only those columns which are available in source but are not in target. So what I can do over here is I can add this simple where condition, where what it will do is it will check, it will filter out only those which are available in source and not in staging. Let me execute this one. So now these 3 records are there which are available in source but not in staging, which I can see correctly here. 0, if you see this 03, 04 and 07 are available in source but not in staging, which is correct. I have figured it out. Why are they not available? Because of required filters which we have applied. So what are those filters? Let me show you that. First of all, the gross amount should not be null, but we can see over here the gross amount is null over here. So this is excluded and it should be. Then payment status should be paid or pending, but this is failed, so it should be excluded. And customer ID should not be null. Here the customer ID is null. So if these these are the filters, if we will apply this, then I believe we will not get a single record. See, execute it, then we are not getting any single record. So there are no missing records from source to target, keeping in mind that we have already applied those transformations, and after that we are not getting any. If any row came out of these filters and is reflecting here, then there is a problem in the transformation. We need to check that ETL. Okay. Now comes test 10, which is date range validation. Now, if you remember, let's first come here. Okay. So we have these 3 tables. Okay. Now one is target, one is staging, one is source. Now I am considering this sales timestamp, which is sale date and sale date over here. Now what I can see from source, that the minimum sale date, not timestamp, because rest are dates. So minimum sale date over here is 1 and the maximum is 7. So my target and my staging date column should have the date range starting from 1 and should end from 7. It can be in between, but not greater than that and not less than that. So this is what we call range validation. Now I am using date column to validate this. You can also use amount column and any other column. Amount column can be used. Even we use Boolean columns also we use. That it should be only Y and N and not X, other than that. But let's start with date because it's the most common check which we do. Because you never know how data can be creeped in, some error can be creeped in, and your date can blast, can go anywhere which you are not aware of. You will spend whole day figuring out. So these checks are very important. Your BI tools will not work correctly if this date is not correctly aligned. So what you will do is date range validation. Over here, what we will do is we will first of all we are using this cast as date because rest of the layers we are having sale date. Over here we are having timestamp. So we are first casting that timestamp into date, and then we are taking the minimum of that as minimum date and maximum of that as maximum date in every layer. So from source raw sales I have done that, from staging clean I have done that, and from target monthly I have done that. Now I have applied union all because I need the details from all of these. We will learn all about all of these columns, all of these unique keywords, union, all, union, in our upcoming videos. But first let's focus on this ETL. Now what we will do is here, I'll try to run this. Okay. Now this row count, you can ignore that. That is not a point of testing right now. But if you see in source row, the minimum date was 1st of January 2025 and the maximum date was 7th of January 2025. In staging clean layer, it's 1st to 6th, which is okay. It is inside the range of source. In target final, it is from 1st to 6th, which is okay. So we have passed this test also. And with this, we can conclude that the test 10, which was a SCD date range validation, we can also, this date range validations can also come in a criteria which is slowly changing dimensions. But we will keep those discussions ahead. If what should happen if the dimension change, then how we should work accordingly to handle those SCD changes. Those are different things which we will look. But for now, we are sure that the integrity of date or the ranges of the data are managed over here. So now we have completed 10 out of 15 ETL tests. And those were row counts, sums, nulls, duplicate, ranges, primary keys, business rule validation, lookups, completeness, and date ranges. Now, I hope I made myself very clear. I tried to understand. If you didn't understand anything, you can comment it out. I'll try to explain it over there. These are important ETL checks which every data engineer should know. And we will have a part 4 coming where I will explain you the rest of the 5 ETL tests which we have planned to do. Thank you so much for staying in the video. I hope if you'd like this video, please try to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. This is for today.